Brandon Moss traded to Cleveland for Joe Wendell, a 254 hitter, Double-A last year in the Indians organization. Maybe you can help us make a little bit of sense of that one, Duke.
Well, I mean, I understand it from Cleveland's standpoint. I'm not quite sure I can understand it from Oakland's standpoint, really. Really, if you look at it from Cleveland's standpoint, you had another left-handed bat and a power bat into the lineup. And, yeah, he had a down year in the second half, but I talked to him recently. He said to me, and we knew this already, he was battling a bad hip during the course of the second half. And then he got into some bad hitting mechanics, Jack. It's not unusual to see a guy like that do that, and he lost his timing. The good news was it came back in the postseason. We saw him hit a couple home runs in the postseason, too. So I don't think there's any reason to expect he doesn't come back, and I certainly like that type of offensive piece for the Indians.
Yeah, it's a plus for the Indians, no question here. With Kipnis not having a productive year at the plate left-hand side, they needed another guy from the left-hand side, and he can fill that role. I think it's more of a case where Billy Beane is looking long-term with a limited budget, and if he can unload some salary and still have a potential team to put together and trick the fans of Oakland into believing that they're contenders, he will do that as long as he survives.
Well, I mean, you're talking about a 30 home run guy, generally speaking, 25 home runs you see last year, but those are a little harder to come by. I mean, bats are going quickly. That's the way this offseason has trended. The funny thing to me is that over the years we've seen a lot from Billy Beane where he trades a guy that. He's not above surprising us,
right?
But he usually goes for quantity, right? He wants 4 or 5 kids back and hopes 1 or 2 hit. This is a 1-for-1 for a kid who hit 250 at Double-A. What do we not know about Wendell?
Well, I think what I'm concerned about, and maybe Wendell, he's certainly a prospect that could be an offensive piece. I think what concerns me is what do we not know about Brandon Moss? What is it? Here's a team that has had Moss here. The guy's come off of some career numbers, and they've had him right in their basically in their organization the last couple of years, and you better know your guys best whenever you're making a deal. And so on the surface you go, well, geez, they're seemingly, I don't want to take away from the prospect, but I mean, you are right that they usually get more than that, especially for power hitting left-handed bats out there. So it does concern me a little bit that there must be a little bit more concern about that hip maybe that we don't know. That second half slump that we saw, maybe they aren't buying into it. Maybe Oakland's not buying into it. This to me is going to come down to, as it always does, a good evaluation on one side or the other. Does Cleveland have the evaluation the right way, or did Oakland get it right? And we saw the decline phase of Moss's career.